Hi again, and welcome to another episode of Get Off My Lawn. I'm your host, Tom Curley. Now, back in August of 2017, about 7 years ago, I posted a blog about how we all have to start recognizing how Donald Trump is, well, nuts. And I pointed out that it was really important that the press and the media focus on this fact like a laser beam. Every story about him, their coverage of him, should all go back to the same topic. This guy is mentally ill. I've said this before, and I'll keep saying it again. When Grandpa starts to slip and he shows signs of dementia, we take away his car keys, we hire nurses to come into his home to help him, we maybe put him in a nursing home. But what is the one thing that we don't do? We don't put Grandpa in the Oval Office. On the plus side, the media is doing this more and more as we get closer and closer to this pivotal election. They have no choice. The things this guy is saying at rallies is literally incomprehensible. Now, there's a large group of psychiatrists and psychologists, and they're writing letters and screaming at the top of their lungs, "This guy is batshit crazy." Although they just use more medically correct language. Now, they've been doing this since 2017. Today, there's a whole new super PAC called Psycho PAC that's dedicated to showing how demented this guy is. And not in the cool Dr. Demento kind of way.
Don't forget to stay demented.
You're the one who said I love you true.
But I didn't start this episode to just talk about demented Don. I also want to talk about a larger group of nut jobs, especially the nut jobs that still want to vote for this nut job. Now, I understand that on Election Day 2016, lots of former Obama supporters voted for him, and lots of other people who felt he might shake things up voted for him. Now, as far as the latter group goes, I say that an earthquake also shakes things up. Doesn't mean I want to be around when one happens. I get it. You had your reasons. But that was then. This is now. But then you did it again in 2020. This is now. We have to know by now how crazy this guy is. We have to know by now how incompetent this guy is. We have to know by now how clueless this guy is. We know what kind of convictions this guy holds. Currently 34 and counting. He's literally running for president in order to stay out of jail. Still, millions and millions of Americans still support this train wreck. Now, the media has been doing something since this guy got elected that drives me crazy. No matter what he does, no matter how stupid it is, no matter how mind-bogglingly horrific it is, the media always tags the story with this, but his base still supports him. To this I say, so what? Just because these assholes still support this jerk, everything he does is okay? Well, they say Republicans won't do anything because they're afraid of his base. They're afraid of being primaried by a more right-wing Republican. Really? Has anybody noticed that most of the Republicans currently in office are the folks who primaried a more moderate Republican? Mostly MAGA and ultra-MAGA. They're white supremacists. They defend Nazis. Who the hell out there is more right-wing than these crazy bastards than the ones that are currently there? The only thing we can really do is vote them out this year. Now, the other thing that drives me nuts is the constant stories about how do we reach the Trump voter? What will it take to turn them against Trump? To this, I have an answer. Nothing. These whack jobs are lost. They're in a cult. They believe every stupid conspiracy theory put out by the alt-right. They will never wake up. Even after they've got no new jobs, even after their taxes go up when rich billionaires' taxes go down, even when they get poorer and poorer, even when they lose their health care, they're lost. Forget them. Ignore them. And try to remember this very important fact. They are a minority. Demented Don lost the popular vote by over 3 million votes the first time and over 7 million votes the second time. Almost 3/4 of the population of the United States do not like this idiot. Concentrate instead on the half of the country that didn't vote at all. At least there's some hope for those folks. You are never going to change these people's minds, or this one, or this one. Trying to reason with a current Trump supporter is like trying to teach a pig to fly. You just frustrate yourself and you annoy the pig. What does any of this have to do with Nutter Butter? Actually, nothing. I just like to write alliterative titles in threes. And I like Nutter Butter. Well, that's all for this episode. Be sure to comment, subscribe, like, poke, prod, punch, tickle, or whatever the hell you're supposed to do on these sites. And be sure to check out my favorite websites, Serendipity Seeking Intelligent Life on Earth, still looking, Voicescapes Audio Theater for the best in audio theater comedy and drama, a half-hour radio show, still the funniest half-hour radio show out there, and a new project I'd really like you to check out called Between Americans. It's on my YouTube channel. And of course, my sister podcast, Media War Stories, behind-the-scenes tales from the front lines of the media. Well, that's all for this episode. Thanks for listening. Now get off my lawn.